And opposing him in the blue corner, he's wearing the silver shorts with the black trim. At the weight, he's scaled 10 stone 4 1/4 pounds. He's undefeated in 6 professional contests, 6 wins, 2 of those wins coming by way of countout. Please welcome from Wembley via Galway, the undefeated Francis Barrett. Timekeeper of the bell is Mr. Peter McCann from Harrow, and our referee from Hayes is Mr. Ken Curtis. This is 6 3-minute rounds.
Francis Barrett unbeaten so far in the white trunks and taking a right hand straight away from Ted Bami, who can be quite dangerous from Brixton, born in Zaire. He's won 4 out of 5 so far. Might be just a bit of a step up this for Francis Barrett, who was featured in the film Southpaw, which charted his progress from a Galway gypsy camp to the Olympic Games. I think it's fair to say, Glenn, that Barrett's got to prove that apart from being a good story, that he's a good fighter too.
Yes, he has, and there's still a long way to go till he does that. But this is a bit of a step up for Barrett and should tell us a little bit more.
Well, he's looking anxious enough, just crowding his work a little bit. That's a good right uppercut on the inside from Barrett there. Bit of holding from Bami. A left hand from Bami. Looked like a slap, really, more than anything, but still had an effect, I guess.
Yes, it looked pretty quick, and that's what he's got to be looking to do, catch Barrett with quick counters coming in. He is looking to try and set himself, Bami.
All the time, Barrett trying to nail him with that left hand. Barrett, who's with the Frank Warren stable, he's got Ernie Fossey working the corner for him tonight. Busy start. Not too many people, it seems to me, have wanted to fight Bami. He might just be one of those who's avoided a little. But Barrett's people clearly confident enough to take the match.
Well, Barrett not showing him any respect, straight in there, looking to get his shots on behind that southpaw jab and being very aggressive, Barrett.
His problem so far is that he has this pressure, but he's looked a bit of a lightish hitter, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. Haven't seen any sort of great power so far from him. And just getting caught with a couple of good shots inside from Bami.
Might have to be careful. Bami's knocked out a couple in his 5 fights so far. His only defeat was when he conceded weight against the Pole Jacek Bleski. Stopped in the 4th round. But Bleski was a welterweight.
Barrett needs to show a bit more variety, just rushing in, crowding his own work. It's aggressive and he's doing more, but needs to be a little bit more polished.
Got him with a low blow as well there. And his opening round purely on work rate, Barrett. There he is, Francis Barrett. Went to the Atlanta Olympic Games and in one of his bouts chalked up a massive 32 points against a Brazilian opponent. Can he take off as a pro, I wonder?
Well, he's got a bit to do, but he's got an aggressive style. He just got to start, working his style out. Here he's just getting too close to Bami, crowding his own work. Needs to pick his punches more, get a bit more accuracy.
Both his stoppage wins have been on cuts so far. Apart from that, he's had to go the distance with journeyman pros, Barrett. Round 2, white trunks. The Irish
a couple of decent right hands at the beginning.
Bami himself as an amateur went no further than a London ABA final at light welterweight, losing to Colin Lines. It's all a bit wild and woolly. The punch is just lacking a bit of snap.
Bami's starting to do a bit more, and he needs to. Starting to let this right hand go, just starting to unsettle Barrett.
Big danger of the heads banging together, I'd say, there as well. Trying to drive that left hand through all the time from the southpaw stance, Barrett. It's a roughhouse. He's quite useful to the body, Barrett, isn't he?
Yes, he has shown in the past some good body punching, but at the minute the heads are the most dangerous of all in there.
Could easily be a cut. That's a nicely picked punch by Barrett.
Well, that's what he's got to try and do. Try and just pick his shots more accurate.
Due to go 6 rounds, by the way, this one in the light welterweight division. Again, a little right hand chopping punch from Bami. He's having the odd success, but Barrett's all over him like a rash, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Bami trying to start quite fast, but you know, good for Barrett. He hasn't really allowed him. He's upped his work rate and still doing more.
At the moment, just one of those that Frank Warren is trying to build up on undercards. Early in his career, 24 years of age, they can't take their time too much with him, I guess.
But he does look pretty physically strong, Barrett. He's managing to push Bami around the ring.
Left hands from Bami. There's a massive danger of cuts damage, I'd say, in this fight, the way it's developing.
Yes, you think something's got to give in there. The head's clashing an awful lot.
Again, the better pick punches from Barrett. That's a good right uppercut, mind you, from Bami. He just comes up with the occasional reminder that he might yet be dangerous in the fight.
Yes, I think he could be, but he needs to do more, and Barrett just isn't allowing him to do that.
That's another round for Francis Barrett on my card anyway. Glenn's too, I suspect.
Yes, he did more, just a better work rate, just trying to be busier, trying to be more forceful and more aggressive, and at this moment that's enough to be winning it for him.
There's Ernie Fossey on the left, the renowned cut man and former Coleman. Don't have Coleman anymore, do they?
No, not where I come from. We used to.
It all ran out, didn't it?
I think it's still there, they just stopped getting it. There's a couple of nice punches from Barrett, straight down the middle. And there, just a better work rate, just putting his shots together. The accuracy's not too good, but he's just busier than Bami.
It's a bit of a maul of a fight, though, isn't it, so far?
Yes, it is. I don't think that the styles are gelling too well. But I think Barrett's doing the right thing by being aggressive.
Here's the third round. Barrett in the white trunks, one of the few fighters with the distinction of winning ABA titles in Ireland and England. Based these days at Wembley, from a travelling family. And he wants it really badly, success in this business. You can just tell that, his whole body language in there.
Yes, he hasn't picked his punches down well, but the aggression's been good from Barrett. He's shown that he does want it.
He's got a good attitude, good determination. Maybe a little more control. Again, a very near miss with the clash of heads. Just finding it hard to really get seriously into the fight, Bami. Watch the use of the head, a warning for him from Ken Curtis, the referee.
Yes, he's just a bit loose there, Bami. Maybe a bit of frustration coming in from him. Barrett still good pressure.
And he's been a pro for nearly 3 years, Bami, and only got 5 fights in. Tells its own story a bit, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I mean, you know, there could be the point that people might not want to fight him because he does have this dangerous reputation.
Got him with a nice shot there, mind you. Looking for uppercuts. Barrett again caught, and this hurt a bit then. Barrett was hurt by one of those there. He's made quite a quick recovery from it, but looked disorganised for a moment.
Yes, there's a right hand in and another one which just seemed to stun Barrett.
And it's beginning to have more success here, Bami. Starting to get interesting. Mustn't get careless. He's diving in a bit, Barrett, leaving himself open.
Well, he's having to work hard, you know, use his strength, and that saps you. And now Bami doing more.
Oh, great shots from him. 2 of them, 3 of them. Combination punching from Bami. This is a bad round for Barrett. Bami's growing in confidence. There's a switch in the plot here for a moment.
Well, this will test Barrett's character. We'll see what he's made of now as Bami starts to throw more punches.
He's still ploughing forward, mind you, Barrett. If he was hurt, he's over it.
There's a nice uppercut from Barrett there. Very determined.
Don't need a ring, do they? Phone box would do. Looks a bit tired, Bami, breathing heavily. Now, did Bami do enough to win that round? I fancy his were the cleaner shots.
Yes, I think he did. He had some good work in that round, Bami. I think he'll be pleased with that. He's just got to keep that sort of work up. Look dangerous at times. There's a good right hand, and Barrett missing. And there's the uppercut. That took a bit out of Barrett.
I'd just like to see a little bit more control from Barrett, wouldn't you? A bit more punch economy. What do you think, Glenn?
Yes, just pick your punches a bit more, but I think he feels that he can't really afford to give Bami that much room. I think he needs to close the distance down, because Bami's showing here that he can be dangerous. Some good hooks when he's got a bit of room.
In his last fight, Bami here outscored Keith Jones in Hammersmith over 4 rounds. 4th round. I've got it 2 rounds to 1 for Barrett so far. Due to go 6, white trunks. You can see he's got the name of the film emblazoned on the waistband, Southpaw. It's only been a pro for 9 months, mind you, Barrett. It's early, very early, isn't it?
Yes, it is early. He had a good amateur career, and obviously, you know, needs to take his time.
Certainly couldn't fault these 2 for effort. Putting a lot into it. Both want the win pretty badly. It's often the way with these little undercard fights.
Yes, you've got 2 fit, strong guys in there, and they both want to come out and win. It means an awful lot.
It's a tough road towards the top, and it's littered with hurdles and sometimes nasty accidents as well.
There's a few bottomless pits along the way
Yes,
as well,
yeah.
if you go the wrong way. He's starting to regroup a little bit now. Barrett just getting behind that jab, just settling in.
Yeah, I think the corner have told him just to pick the punches maybe a little more. He was leaving himself open to the odd counter, wasn't he, in that last round?
Yes, he was, and I think Bami's just tired a bit more in this round.
What do you call him then? Barmby. He plays for Liverpool, doesn't he?
Good punch there from Barrett. That just stunned Bami.
Good shot. Just looking a little bit better like this, Barrett. Just mixing it up a little. Giving himself a breather too in the fight, maybe. Trying to pick the shots, looking for quality, more than quality perhaps, and again, goodness me, it's a wonder nobody's got a cut in this, isn't it?
Well, it's not over yet, and it'll be surprising if somebody does come out without a mark.
quieter round, this one. It is a problem that Barrett has, though, for his style as a pressure fighter, that he doesn't really have the power to go with it.
Bami trying to get some punches off there, and this is where Barrett needs to keep his shots going. He's boxed better in this round.
Just like to see that southpaw jab a bit more, wouldn't you, from Barrett? Now they're trying to give him the pep talk in the corner. Ted Bami, get it together, man. That's the message.
Yep, that would seem a pretty good message. I think they need more work out of him. He was very tired in the fourth. He's got to pick up his work, or he's going to be outscored in this one.
Barrett landing 21 shots in the round on Bami, who had to take another one from his trainer when he got back into the corner.
No, they were just the body shots. That was a headshot he took off James Cook in the corner.
Cook, who was a European champion at super middleweight, wasn't it, in his days as a...
Sorry for yourself. You don't want to be in there. You don't want to be in there and take you out.
Back him up.
Come on.
You understand?
Okay?
Back him up.
You ain't winning this on points, right? You look us off this game. What are you doing?
Here's the fifth round. Barrett in the white trunks. Leading, we think, by 3 rounds to 1 so far. He'd love a stoppage win, wouldn't he?
Yes, he would. He just needs to pick it up a bit more than he has been. But you sense that Bami was starting to get tired in the last round. It's what does Bami have left?
There you go. There you go, Frank.
Still the pressure, got through with a good right hand there, Francis Barrett. Just tending to slap a bit as well, Bami, with that left hand. He's looked tired for a couple of rounds now. I think these body punches are beginning to have their effect.
Yes, they are. They're starting to get to him a bit. And it's good pressure from Barrett. He obviously, he trains hard, very dedicated.
And that's obviously paying off as well. Can Bami do anything to get back into the contest, I wonder? It's not been a cliffhanger or anything like that, but it's been a good solid performance again by Barrett. He is a good body puncher, but he's fighting a guy here who's won 4 out of 5, and he's subduing him bit by bit, you fancy, unless something dramatic happens.
Yes, I think that's what he's done. He's picked the right thing to beat Bami. He hasn't given him any room in the early fights. As Bami started tired, now you're seeing the class of Barrett, and now he's very much on top.
Fifth round.
Barrett still working well behind that southpaw jab, keeping the pressure on Bami. Just got to be careful he doesn't get caught by one of these wild swings.
I think they're both getting a bit tired now, a bit messy and Morley. Not much coming back from Bami. He's only managing really to fight for 30 seconds around, it seems to me, at this stage. Barrett just looks like he wants it a bit more.
Well, Barrett throwing a lot more body shots. 29, that's quite impressive. Only 9 for Bami. And look at their faces in the corner. Barrett looks the much better prepared. Bami looking pretty tired. And it was good body shots in this round. Look at that. picking those well. And if he had a bit more power, I fancy there'd be pretty hurtful shots from Barrett.
The trademark body shots from Francis Barrett. Because when you're a young fighter like this coming through, you want to get people talking about you, and you can't wait for it to happen.
Yes, you're in so much of a rush, but really you just got to keep getting better, keep improving. And it looks as if Barrett is. This is a pretty good performance from him.
Yeah, he's doing it pretty well so far. It's nothing very spectacular. And it's happening way down the bill, but sometimes that can work quite nicely too for a fighter. There's no pressure on him. There's Glenn's scorecard.
Here's a 3-point lead. Just the one round where Bami tried a bit hard and had a bit more success.
This is the last round of it. Barrett looking on course to make it 7 wins out of 7. He's going to have to fight a lot of rounds in his career, though, to get there, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's going to have to be very, very fit. It looks as if he is a sort of determined fighter anyhow, but he'll always need to be in good shape.
But he probably doesn't need a couple of people like you and I at ringside to tell him that. He's probably already worked that out.
I'm sure he has. But we'll tell him anyhow.
Nice little right hand getting through from Bami, who might just try to lift it now that he can almost see the finishing tape. Not much doubt about it that Barrett's come in here in much better condition, seems to me. Looks fitter, doesn't he?
He looks fitter, stronger, more determined, and I think a bit more boxing ability as well.
But hello, right uppercuts here from Bami. 3 of them. He's suddenly starting to get serious again in this last round. We had a little burst from him in the 3rd. Needs the knockout, I reckon. He's a long way behind on points. Barrett just can't get careless.
Especially now where he's starting to get a bit tired towards the end. Needs to keep his concentration.
Left hands as well from Bami. He's got him with some good shots in this round. Good right cross, or hook, I should say, really, from Barrett.
It's been a very good finish to the round from Bami. These punches are good.
Trying to rescue it with one punch, maybe, Bami. That's what he needs now. Just proving a little too easy to hit at times, Barrett. I suppose you'd say, is he making a bit too much heavy weather of it for a fighter at this stage of his career?
Well, this was a bit of a step up in class against a live opponent. Now he's showing some nice combinations, Barrett.
Very
warmed
good.
up in a pretty decent fight, this.
It's been a real old argument between these two. Bami would have been looking to claim the scalp of an unbeaten prospect. And he's giving it plenty in this last round. Last 10 seconds of the contest now. Looks like Barrett's on his way to the victory. He deserves it too. He's worked very, very hard. And it's not been an easy 6 rounds. There's the final bell, and he's given it to Bami. And there's a look of absolute disgust on the face of Francis Barrett. He's been handed his first defeat, and I must say, Glenn and I are aghast.
Well, we certainly are, and I'm sure Barrett is wondering what he has to do. He forced the fight. He was up front, pushing him back all the time. The stats make Barrett a decent winner.
113 to 95 on punches landed. About the same economy, really. Bami put up a pretty good fight. He might have won the last round, and you could have given him the 3rd, but I'd be struggling to make a case for anything more than that.
Yes, me and all, that was a bit of a shock. Not sure where that came from. Certainly for me, Barrett was a clear winner. Bami gave it a good effort, but never did enough.
I think he was robbed there a bit, Francis Barrett. Shouldn't worry too much about it. I think 9 times out of 10 he'd have got the decision, but not from Kenny Curtis here.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of light welterweight action, your referee, Mr. Ken Curtis, has scored the contest as follows. For Barrett, 57 points. For Bami, 58 points. Your winner from Brixton, Ted Bami.
3 rounds to 2 with 1 even was how Kenny Curtis saw it.
And a
Glenn
round of
and I
applause,
had it,
please, for a
what,
very
4
good
rounds to
hunting
2 in favour.